Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I've made this card, which I think I'm going to call like a double vertical stepper, because you've got the stepper pieces here, and it was actually from the stepper card, the double stepper, that this one's come from, because I had a spare piece of this here and I wanted to obviously try and find a way to use it, so I've come up with this style here. It's like a concertina, it's a springy one, so it literally will just go into an envelope and pop open when they take it out. It's a really fun design. You don't have to have the whole acetate piece here, and I'll show you how you can just use a strip, and you can have a thick cardstock panel that's maybe like that kind of size, and then have, you know, a matte layer on top of it, and then you've got your space on the back to write your message. So this will go into a 5x7 envelope, or one of my bouncy envelopes, box envelopes, something like that. It depends how much dimension you add. I shared a picture of me fussy cutting all of these flowers, so this is what I've done with the blue ones, and I'm going to show you how to make this card style using some orange flowers. So let's get started. I'm going to use the Just For You again because it fits nicely in that taller vertical size. So it's the Just For You here from the Card Making Magic Butterfly Trails Sentiments. And then the paper, the papers I've used are the Frida Kahlo new papers. And I cut the blue flowers because I had some left over from the double stepper, the double faux stepper that I shared. So I just cut a few more. And then for today's, I've cut the orange and white ones. So I have a selection of those there. So I just fussy cut all of those, but again, you can use die cuts, it's up to you. This is just an alternative, you know, I mentioned about having a strip, and this can be as wide as you want, so we'll talk through that in a minute. But I'm going to add the acetate again for mine. For the background that I used on that card, because people often ask about the papers, it was this one here, which is just the watercolour backgrounds, and it was a Craft Stash & Co, the layered look. So you can see how that all looks, and I've got little embellishments on there as well. So dead easy to make this one. You want 2 pieces of cardstock. I've used a 300 GSM, but anything above like the 220 mark is going to be best. So this is 11x7. So try to make sure that it's going to work on your A4 letter size as well as 12x12. So 11x7. Along the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 1, 2, 4, and 6. So you want to do that on both pieces. Okay, and then you want to fold it so you have this. So I've already done it just because it's easier to explain. So that's that large 5x7 panel, and you then want to have, depending on how you look at it, but if we do it this way, you've got a valley, a mountain, a valley, and a mountain. You want to make sure you end with this 1-inch panel and the fold facing inside the card. Okay, so I'm just going to give those a good burnish. And you want to do that twice. I've already stuck one of the panels on this one, but then you're just going to flip one around so it's opposite, and they're going to stick together like this. So that's all the scoring for the minute. Actually, I'll go through the scoring again with the acetate when we get to it. So I'm just going to stick these together. It doesn't matter which one you stick over the top, both the same. It's not going to make any difference. And I'm just going to sit that one over the top just to make sure it all lines up. Straight away you'll see the card will stand. I mean, you could keep it like this and not add anything to the, you know, the top, and they just kind of pull it out and have that kind of effect if you want, and then you've got a sentiment and stuff there. But we're going to do it this way, but I like to show you different steps and where you can stop and change it if you want to. So then you want to decorate the panels before you, if you're going to stick the acetate on. So I've got this piece here which is full. I've done all of the strips this time, so they're all 7 inches tall. I've just brought in the width, so this is 4 3/4 by 7, and then I've got these 2 pieces here which are 1 3/4 by 7, and you see when you pop them on there you get that white strip, and I just thought the white strip looked quite nice and helped each of those kind of panels pop. But if you want to bring it down, then do that so it's 6 3/4 and not 7, and then you'll have the white border all the way around. And then I've got these 2 strips here. Where my other one's gone? Oh, there it is. And these are 3/4 by 7. But you want to stick them down last if you're going to add the acetate, because the acetate's going to go underneath these. So we want to stick that down first. So for the minute, you just want to stick these 3 down. Okay. So my acetate here is a piece of 4.5 by 7, and along the 4.5 side you're going to score at 3/4 and at 3 3/4. Okay, so you've got a 3/4 inch panel on each side, and then that will, the 3/4 inch panels are going to stick to here. I didn't have them, I brought them in so you don't see them if you've got that white border here. They're not going to come over into that part. Now, if you don't want to do this full piece, now this could be cardstock as well. I just want to add that in. So if you want this to, if you don't have acetate, just cut this size if you want to have a full piece of cardstock. But I think it'd be nice to bring it down, and I can imagine a smaller strip, maybe something, let's just see, just to give you some ideas. If you were to do the 4 1/2 by like 4, and then you'd see these panels behind. So you just get a nice, you know, see that detail popping through. I think I might redo this again in 6x6 and do it that way, just so that it's there as well, because I know some people are more visual and want to see one done, so that might be coming. And then if you want to just do the cardstock strip here, because you can then have this could be acetate as well, this size, and then you could have a topper that's like more suspended. You can also have it higher up. You could have 3 strips. You could build up on the strips. So I'm just trying to give you lots of examples, and this is 1 by, well, I've done 1 by 5 for this one, so it covered the whole section, but I do 1 by 4 1/2 again, and just score at 3/4 and 3 3/4, so you just don't see the edges then. But it's up to you how you're doing this. I think it could look good as a Christmas one. This could be Santa's belt running through the middle, and you could pop a real metal buckle on like I did on the card that I made with my nan. So loads of scope with this one, but I'm going to use the acetate. So I'm just going to grab some double-sided tape, and I'm going to run it more towards the score line, just down. Oh, on a bit off there. It doesn't matter too much, it's all going to get covered anyway, but just bring it in a little bit. Okay, and then you just want to make sure that the folded sections line up with the folds, and the top and the bottom is flush, and then just fold each side down. You want that acetate to be completely flat. Okay, and naturally you can see that bounce. I've got a little mark on my acetate, I'll get that off in a minute, but can you see that lovely bounce that you get? And there's that shape. So I'm just going to use some rubbing alcohol or surgical spirit, and that'll take off any smears and marks there with the acetate. And I'm also going to stick these pieces right over the top there, and you can see it just conceals all of that. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So now I've got my topper, and I'm just going to do a very similar arrangement to this one here. So I used foam pads for all of this because it just sticks brilliantly to the acetate, but I stuck that one down first on the foam, and then just start building these flowers, and you can pop them underneath, break them up with the white, and yeah, hopefully just get a really nice display like that. So the flowers are all stuck down there. I think it looks beautiful. You could also add pattern paper on these panels here, but I quite like the white, the block white there. You know, lots of ways to decorate this. So I use these pals here, which I've started using again. I've had them for a while. I used the blue and the green, which matched perfectly. You can see the detail there in those. And the closest ones for these ones is going to be the red and the yellow. So I've got 2 sizes. There are 3 sizes, but I've got the largest then down to the smallest. There's a medium, and I keep meaning to get it, so hopefully I'll be reminded now, because it'd be quite nice to have that medium size. And trying to pick these up, I need my little pickup tool. Okay, so I just used my liquid glue. You know, as long as no one's going to pick at them, then they will hold. And I'll just pop a few large ones down and then some smaller ones next to it. And there's the finished card. I'll just hold it up there so you can see all that lovely detail. Really, really sweet. But like I said, no dies are needed for this, and you can add any toppers, any pattern, can be for any theme. I think there's a lot of scope for this. But yeah, I'm going to redo this one in the 6x6, and I'm going to do it with a cardstock panel, like a matte layer. I might use the Paddington collection for those ones. I think that would work quite nicely as well. So yeah, look out for the 6x6. I'll make sure that comes quite soon. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I will link all the product that I've used in the description box below. Popping up now will be some other similar style cards you might want to check out. And if you haven't subscribed and you've enjoyed today, click the subscribe button. You can probably see my face somewhere, usually in the middle. If you click on that, then you can subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then you won't miss any future tutorials and the 6x6 version. See you all again soon. Bye.